Mark Twain once said, "It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so." Today, that false certainty often comes from a computer screen. Modern executives practice what you might call ivory tower management, sitting miles away from the action, feeling completely in control because they're tracking a digital dashboard. But metrics like overall equipment effectiveness, or those color-coded cells in a polished spreadsheet, are secondary data. And secondary data can easily be smoothed out or massaged to tell a pleasant story. Relying strictly on those screens creates a massive operational blind spot. It physically separates the people making the decisions from the place where the actual work is happening. Take a look at this chart representing the defect rate at a plastic injection molding factory called SAM Polymold. You can see a stable baseline right until last week, when the defect rate on machine number 4 suddenly spikes up to 12%. The plant manager investigates this entirely from his desk. He pulls the weekly report, sees the spike happen during the night shift, and concludes the operator on duty must have been negligent. To close the case quickly, the manager drafts a formal written warning, penalizes the worker, and considers the problem solved. But treating an operational failure like a paperwork error guarantees one thing: the actual physical root cause remains completely untouched, waiting to cause the exact same problem tomorrow. In lean manufacturing, there is a concept called Gemba. It translates directly to the actual place, the physical location where value is being created, like a crowded vehicle assembly line or a busy kitchen. The founding architect of the Toyota production system, Taiichi Ohno, believed that understanding this environment required a highly specific method of observation. He used to train junior engineers by taking them to the factory floor, drawing a chalk circle on the ground, and ordering them to stand inside it, completely still, for 8 continuous hours. In that first hour, a junior engineer usually sees nothing but noise and movement. By hour 3, the stillness begins to peel back the layers, revealing quiet inefficiencies, like a worker walking too far for a tool or parts sitting idle. Ohno's exercise proved that physical stillness and sustained focus are the only ways to cut through the superficial chaos of a factory and observe how the system actually works. Let's apply Ohno's philosophy to reopen the SAM Polymold case. Instead of reading a report, a diagnostician uses the 3G methodology. Step 1 is Gemba, going directly to the actual place, which means walking down to machine 4 during the night shift. Standing quietly at the molding machine, they immediately notice the overhead fluorescent lights are flickering and incredibly dim. Step 2 is Gembutsu, the actual thing. The investigators don't look at a smartphone photo of the rejected black plastic parts. They pick them up and hold them. With the physical part in hand, the nature of the defect shifts. These are microscopic scratches, tiny defects that are virtually invisible to a human eye struggling under broken flickering lights. This leads to step 3, Genjitsu, gathering the actual facts. The investigators approach the operator and, rather than assigning blame, simply ask what happened. The worker explains that the lights have been broken for 2 weeks. Maintenance is out of replacement bulbs. He strains to check the parts all night, but the morning quality control team, sitting in a brightly lit room, spots the tiny scratches and rejects them. The 12% defect rate was a systemic failure of facility maintenance and poor communication. The manager's written report, blaming worker negligence, was complete fiction. The fix is immediate. A maintenance tech runs to the store, buys a new LED bulb, and installs it. The next night, the defect rate drops back to 1%, and the worker's disciplinary warning is shredded. This case illustrates why going to the floor is critical, provided you follow 3 strict rules for conducting a proper Gemba walk. First, go see. Never wander aimlessly. Enter the workspace with a specific target in mind, like observing material transport or cycle times, and stand quietly to collect raw facts. Second, ask why. When you spot an anomaly, ask the operator about it to uncover systemic issues. You have to resist the urge to police their behavior or bark immediate orders. Third, show respect. The person operating the machine for 8 hours a day is the true expert of that process. You are stepping into their domain to learn from them. Your objective on the floor is to identify the physical obstacles holding your team back, and then use your authority to remove them. Curious, direct tone. Take a moment to audit your own habits as a leader. How far is your desk from the actual assembly line? If it takes 3 flights of stairs and a walk across a courtyard to get there, you're likely isolated from the reality of your business. When you do walk through the doors, do your employees tense up or try to hide their mistakes? If they do, your presence is being read as a threat, not as support. And when a problem arises, do you demand to touch the actual defective pieces? Or if you settle for looking at low-context photos on your phone? Data is useful, but it lacks texture. To solve real problems, you have to abandon the comfort of the dashboard, step onto the front lines, and do the physical work required to earn the truth.